Hi, my name is Coach Stevie, and tonight I've got a special live, and I'm going to cover why eating like a hooper makes you better at basketball the cheap and easy way. If you think, who is this guy? He looks a little bit overweight. This was me up top 1 year ago, and this is me now. And I've lost that much weight through training like a basketball player in the gym, which I used to be a former athlete before. So now I have pushed myself to get back to there. I'm still not yet there yet, but I'm on my way. So if you're training hard but your energy is dead and your shot feels off and you gas out in games, it might not be just your skill. It might be your food. Tonight I'm going to show you how nutrition directly affects your handles, shooting, speed, and recovery, and how to eat well on a budget at Lidl and Aldi, which are some of the cheapest supermarkets in the UK. So if you are watching this live, I want you to drop your age and your position in the chat. And I want to know what your goal is with your nutrition. Are you looking to gain muscle, or are you looking to eat better for performance? Let me know your goal in the chat and I might be able to help support you through it. Okay, so basketball is a repeated game of sprints and decision making. Food is your fuel. If your fuel is trash, your performance will be inconsistent. I'm going to link that to skill. Ball handling. If you're low on energy, you're going to have sloppy hands and sloppy feet. Shooting. Dehydration equals, and low carbs equals heavy legs and short shots. Defense. Poor recovery equals you're late on the slide, or you don't get to the spot quick enough. Confidence. Hunger and crashes equal mood dips and frustration. So let me know in the chat, when do you feel worse at the start of training, the middle, or late game? Type 1 for training, 2 for middle, and 3 for late game. When do you feel worse at the start of training, the middle, or late game? Type 1, 2, or 3 in the chat for me. I want to know. At the start. Okay, cool. No worries, man. I can help you fix that tonight. Lock in. Simple nutrition rules. No complicated science. None of this fluff you see on the internet that confuses your head off. Very, very simple. Training. Wicked. Lovely. I can probably help you with that. Lock in with this live, and I'm going to show you how your nutrition links to your skill and your performance. Players make this part, the nutrition rules, too complicated. So here are 4 rules for you. Rule number 1, protein every meal. This helps you recover and repair your muscles. The example would be chicken. Try and opt for the chicken breast, because chicken breast is more leaner with less fat. But if you can't afford that, buy chicken legs, buy chicken thighs. Thighs are the cheapest cut of meat that you can get, full of protein, and they've got good fats in as well, good animal fats. So you want to buy stuff like that. Eggs, very, very cheap to buy, especially if you buy them in a pack of 15. You can get them from Aldi or Lidl, very, very cheap. Yogurt, try and stick to the Greek yogurt with higher fat in. You can get the non-fat one, but as a basketball player, you need a bit of fat in your diet. Tuna, in a tin, try and opt for the one with spring water, because the one with brine in is high in sodium. Very, very cheap to buy again. Mince, you want to try and opt for beef mince, not lamb mince, because it's a little less fatty and a bit more leaner. Very cheap to buy again. Lentils. Really cheap to buy. You can buy a massive bag. Rule number 2, carbs equal performance. Now, a lot of things are thrown around in the fitness world to say that carbs are bad for you. But you're not a fitness influencer and you're not a bodybuilder. You are an athlete. So carbs are your number one source for energy. It fuels your sprints, which equals you having more legs in the game. The examples would be basmati rice or any rice. Pasta, opt for the whole grains if possible. Oats, very cheap again. All of these are cheap. Potatoes, really good source. I eat potatoes every morning. Wraps, you can now get high protein wraps from Lidl and Aldi. So just buy them. You'll see them on the label, high protein wraps, or get your parents to buy them. Really, really cheap from Lidl and Aldi. I'm going to cover that question. I usually leave questions to the end, but I can see that's quite an urgent question, Max. Should I play tournament tomorrow if my hamstring feels tight? On a scale of 1 to 10, how tight does your hamstring feel? 10 being, I completely think I'm going to break my leg if I just do a light walk. Drop it in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, how tight is your hamstring? 4 or 5. Okay, so what I want you to do, because I think you're going to be able to play the tournament with cutting back on the volume of your minutes a little bit, because if you're at a 4 or a 5, that's kind of normal muscle soreness that you'd get from the gym anyway. I want you tonight to do a 3 rounds of 20-second wall sits. Make sure you're 90 degree. You're at a 90 degree on any wall, and your back is flat to the wall. You'll feel your legs shake, but what this will do is it'll loosen your kind of hamstrings up a tiny bit, and it will help with the blood flow and the recovery in your hamstrings. The other thing I would do is if you have skins like tights, whatever you call them, I would go to bed in your tights. The reason why I would say that is because it actually aids recovery in your tights, and it speeds up the blood flow, and you want to push as much oxygen and nutrients into your body to recover your hamstring. So what you want to do is you want to wake up in the morning and you want to feel like on number 3, and you'll be good to play. In your warm-ups tomorrow, I want you to do the wall sits again. Do 2 rounds this time of 20 seconds. And after you've done the wall sits, I want you to do a dynamic warm-up, starting from your lower body, going to your upper body. Stuff like lunges, forward lunges, reverse lunges, side lunges. You can do that with a ball in your hand whilst you're dribbling and come to a stop after 3 dribbles. And you can do the movements. I want you to do some body weight squats with a ball in your hand as well. I also want you to do some core stability stuff, so you can do some planks. Hold your plank for around about 30 seconds when you're warming up. Bang out a few press-ups, maybe 5 to 10 press-ups to prep your central nervous system. And other stuff I want you to do is some low-level plyometrics. So put a ball in your hands and do some bunny hops off 2 feet. Do it sideline to sideline. Don't do it very fast. Do it very light. And then what you want to do is 1 foot bunny hops, sideline to sideline. And you should be all right. If you still feel like a number 3 after your warm-up, when you've done your general team warm-up, your skill stuff, maybe your layup lines or your shooting, you should be absolutely all right. And if you feel throughout the tournament that your hamstring's getting tighter, you want to make sure you take a foam roller with you or like a tennis ball. And what you want to do kind of after every game is you want to roll it out. The other thing I want you to do as well tonight is I want you to intake electrolytes. So cheap version of electrolytes is some squash, a third squash, and the rest of it water. You want to get around about 500 mils, and you want to put a tiny pinch of salt in your drink. This salt will have sodium, potassium, and magnesium in, Pink salt I opt for, but if you haven't got pink salt, a little bit of table salt won't do you no harm. Drink that tonight. And when you wake up in the morning, I want you to hydrate yourself with 500 mils of water with a little pinch of salt and a little pinch of squashing. As soon as you wake up, 500 mils of water. If you have to chug it, because you need to hydrate yourself and make sure that you're helping the oxygen flow through the body and also aiding the recovery process tonight when you go to bed. The other thing is, if you have got any yogurt, I would eat a bit of yogurt as well, maybe 100 to 200 mils of yogurt. Opt for obviously the natural as possible. You can put a bit of honey in it if you want, a bit of berries. You can even put a little bit of chocolate in there if you want to, or you can have some with some granola. That will help your recovery. So these are nutritional and obviously physical strategies to help you with your recovery, so you'll be tournament ready for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm from Stoke-on-Trent, mate. Are you? You from Stoke? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to. I try and be as professional as possible, but the Stokey accent comes through sometimes, mate. But I can never forget where I'm from. I actually live in Stoke, to be honest with you. I live in Stoke. Anyway, back to the nutritional stuff and how it links to your skill. So I'll just go over them again briefly. Rule number 1, protein every meal. Rule number 2, carbs equal performance. Rule number 3, veg and fruit daily. The micronutrients help you recover and they give you immunity, so they stop you picking up colds and stuff like that, because when you're training at a high volume, your immune system gets very low. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you're getting your micronutrients via your veg or fruit. If you don't like veg and fruit, you can opt for like a greens drink or a multivitamin. So you can buy yourself a multivitamin. There's a big pack from Costco you can buy with like 300 multivitamins for like £11. That's probably the cheapest multivitamin I've seen on the market if you can't get your micronutrients in, but obviously the natural stuff is going to process in your body better. I've recently started drinking like a greens drink because I'm not a big fruit or veg guy. You can get the greens and veg drink from B&M. It looks like flipping swamp water. And it does taste nice, actually. It's called apple berry. And what you can do with that is you basically just put 1 scoop in, just clear water, 500 mils. I don't like the taste of it, so I'll put a little bit of juice with it, a little bit of squash. And then I make sure I drink 500 mils when I get up. It's got a little bit of protein in as well, so it's decent, and it's only around about £6 to £8. I got that from B&M or Home Bargains. Yeah, so that's a cheap way of where you can get your micronutrients in as well. Apple cider vinegar gummies, that's more for kind of weight loss and immunity. They are good, but I would just totally bin the gummies, and I would go to Aldi. I saw it in Aldi the other day, and you can just buy organic apple cider. And what you do with that is you can put like a capful in your water when you wake up and just neck it. But I'm not going to lie, it tastes like shit, mate. But it's really, really good for you, especially for fat loss and especially for well-being as well. Really, really good. Yeah, so anyway, back to rule number 4. Rule number 4 is hydration. So a lot of people think that hydration is just necking a load of water. I'm going to say something now that you've probably never heard. Bottled water versus tap water. Yeah. Now, a lot of us know that UK tap water is not the cleanest water that we can have. It's probably cleaner than other countries, but it's still got a lot of bad properties in, especially a lot of if you're in a high limescale area. Bottled water. So you think, okay, I'm going to drink bottled water. It's dead healthy, this and that. I will tell you, most bottled water has got a high amount of calcium in and a high amount of sodium in. Too much calcium and too much sodium in your water can cause you to have liver and kidney issues. So I'm going to give you a cheat code. The bottled water that you should opt for is you should opt for the Volvic. Volvic has got a lower sodium, lower magnesium, and lower calcium in. So I would say try and stay away from the other waters. There is some special water you can buy. It's called hydro ionized water, but you have to buy a machine and it costs like £400 and you fill it up with like a jug and stuff. And it is the purest water that hydrates you and you don't need no electrolytes whatsoever. So Volvic water is what I recommend. Don't be buying no other stuff like these flipping Fiji waters and all these fancy waters that you see on the gram. You just want to stick to that. Tap water. If you can't blow your budget for the normal water and stuff like that, tap water is an okay option. I would say with tap water, it is obviously less healthier, but it is more regulated. But you can buy filters that you put on your tap that filter all the shit out. So I would look at filters. They cost about £20 to £100, and you can get like a pump that you replace the filter in it. So if your parents have got that, that's good. You can buy filter jugs as well. They're decent. You can buy a tenner where you put the water in and it filters some of the shit out. So you can buy the filter jug to filter the tap water out. I would highly recommend you get a filter jug. Hydration is not just about you banging a load of water, though. It's about you having electrolytes in. Too much electrolytes is bad. So what you want to opt for in the morning is a pinch of salt in your water, and you need to down it as well. So that's rule number 4. So I'll go through them rules again. Very easy ways of simple nutrition rules. Rule number 1, protein every meal. Rule number 2, carbs equal performance. Rule number 3, fruit and veg daily or multivitamins. Rule number 4, hydration. Try and opt for Volvic or try and opt for filtered tap water. Yeah? So, I've got a question for you, a little fun quiz. What's worse for performance? This is to see if you've been listening. No breakfast or no water? Type A or B in the chat. What's worse for performance based upon the rules I've just said? Having no breakfast or having no water? No breakfast, type A. No water, type B in the chat. Type it in the chat. I want to see if you're listening. It's the best way to retain information to be active. A. Okay, B. Wicked. Any more answers? A or B? Okay, so I'm going to tell you the answer. The answer based upon the rules is actually no water. I'm going to tell you why. Water actually makes up around 70 to 80% of your body. Yeah? We have got loads of hydrogen atoms in our body. So I would say, from the science, having no water in the morning is actually worse than having no breakfast. The reason being is food and glycogen stays in your body a little bit for the next day, especially if you've had a late meal. So make sure you hydrate. It's probably the number one most important thing that people in general forget. And it's the easiest win as a basketball player. And it will improve your skills. I'm going to speak about that a little bit more, though, and how nutrition improve your skills. So I'm going to cover the basketball plate, what you can eat. A very, very easy tip for what you can eat and how you can make your meals, because some of you, your parents will make your meals, but obviously they put the portion out, so you can ask them very nicely about the portion. So I'm going to talk about portions of different macronutrients and micronutrients. Macros are carbs, fats, protein. Micronutrients are your beans, veg, and fruit. This is a plate for your training day. So on your training day, probably for your first meal of the day, your breakfast, half a plate of carbs. So it's your rice, it's your pasta, it's your Weetabix, it's your potatoes in the morning, and whatever else you eat in the morning. Just try not opt for the high sugar cereal because that's going to give you a crash. protein cereal's all right though. A quarter of protein. So you're thinking about a plate. You've got half carbs in the plate, and you've got a quarter of protein on your plate. A quarter vegetable or fruit, and then your water. At least in the morning, 500 mils at least. Yeah. So if you put a bit of sugar on your Weetabix, it's not really going to kill you. But I would recommend, if you want to sweeten your Weetabix a little bit, and if you like it, just cut up some banana. Cut up some banana and like soak your milk a little bit. Because a banana is a little bit more slow releasing, and it has micronutrients in as well, so you're going to get a better bang for your buck. A little bit of sugar is okay if you need a little bit of sugar, but I would recommend you get the natural sugar out of the banana. Just cut the banana up and go for it. Sweetener sugar, I'm not a big fan, only if you're looking for fat loss. So I'd kind of stay away from sweetener sugar because it spikes your insulin very, very high. And it can do all types of mad stuff to you. So I would opt for natural cane sugar over that. You can also have buy different sugars. You can buy coconut sugar, which is very, very good for you. And you can buy like stevia sweetener, which is like more of a natural sweetener. And there's different types of healthy sugars that you can buy. Date sugar is probably the best one, more slow releasing, and it's got a little bit of caramel taste to it as well. Really, really nice. I've tasted it myself. Date sugar. You can buy it in any big supermarket. I don't think you can buy it in Lidl or Aldi though. So yeah, you probably go Tesco or somewhere like that for it. Non-training day plate. So this is on the days that you don't train and you're thinking about recovery. A little bit less carbs, more veg. So you'd go for a quarter of carbs, you'd go for half a plate of veg, and you'd still go for your quarter of your protein, because you want to obviously keep that consistent for the recovery part. So I want to know in the chat, what's your usual meal before training days? And be honest, what's your usual meal before training days? And I'll rate it. I'll rate it 1 out of 10. Let me know what your usual meal is before training days in the chat, because I'm going to rate it 1 out of 10. Chicken and rice, yes, lad. If you eat that in the morning, you're a warrior. So I'll rate that. I'll give that a 6. I'll give that a 6 because it's got your good proteins and it's got obviously your good carbs as well. But I want to see some veg in there at least, and some micronutrients, because you definitely need them for immunity and obviously recovery. And it slows the process of your meal down. It makes it a bit more slow releasing as well. Yeah, so Coach Stevie says, eat your veggies, boy. Yeah, so I'll rate that a strong 6. And if you put veggies on it, I'll rate it a strong 8. So, what to eat on training days, before and after. These are examples of what to eat. So, pre-training, you want to eat 1 to 3 hours before. And your goal is to fuel and not to be too heavy. Nobody wants to play on a heavy stomach. Stuff like oats, porridge oats, and banana, and obviously mix milk in that. If you are looking to lose fat, semi-skim milk or skim milk would be a little bit better because it's less in calories. Whole milk is okay. Some people prefer it. That's absolutely fine. Oats, banana, and milk. Rice and chicken with your veggies. Pasta, tuna pasta bake, or just tuna and pasta salad. A chicken wrap with a side salad. You can just get a bag of lettuce from Tesco or whatever, a bag of mixed salad, no problem. Pre-training, so you want to think about quick fuel that releases before your pre-training. Best one, I rate it highly, banana. If you don't like that, yogurt. You can get like a protein yogurt, that's a decent one, or you can just get natural Greek yogurt or any kind of cheap yogurt from Lidl and Aldi. Just make sure it's the natural one and he hasn't got any mad sugars in. toast and honey, toast, peanut butter, and jam. And the Americans call it a PJB, peanut butter, PBJ, peanut butter and jelly. It's just basically toast, peanut butter, and jam. You can have that on a sandwich as well if you don't want to toast it. It's my personal favourite, to be honest with you. I think it's banging. And it's probably one of the best pre-training meals you can have. You want to do that 60 minutes before you train. About 80 minutes, 80 to 60 minutes, yeah? Post-training. So we are now thinking about recovering our muscles so we can go back at it the next day and train at full force. Protein and carbs, chicken and rice, mince and pasta, egg, toast, and maybe a bit of fruit. Greek yogurt, oats, and berries. You can put other stuff in your Greek yogurt as well. You can maybe put like a little bit of cereal on there if you want to, because you want to get some fast releasing carbs as well as some slow releasing protein in there too. Yeah, for that quick recovery. So I got a question for you. Who trains after school? If you train after school, type Y in the chat. If you don't train after school, type N in the chat. Okay, wicked. Yes, so for you, probably your pre-training nutrition would be the most important. So keep a banana or keep an apple in your bag. And any kind of carby fruit would do, like mango and stuff like that. Yeah. Berries and stuff like that don't really have much carbs in. They have more water content in and micronutrients. So you want to be a little bit more heavier on the carbs with the fruit. The other pre-training meal I forgot, you can have cereal and milk. I opt for the protein cereal. It's not the cheapest out there, but it is a great way to get your protein hit in, and it's low in sugars as well. Okay, game day nutrition. Let's talk about the game day. What day is it? It's game day. Simple timeline. Game day is not the day to experiment with your nutrition. Yeah? So if you have a little cheeky Mackies after your game day, you're being a waste man. Stop it. 3 to 4 hours before your game day, you want to have rice, pasta, potatoes, chicken, tuna, mince, and veg. Keep it familiar. Keep it simple as well. 60 to 90 minutes before, you want to have banana. You can have like a cereal bar, toast with some peanut butter on and some jam like I spoke about. You can have some honey on the toast as well. I shouldn't really put this out there, but probably chocolate spread is okay, Nutella, before a game. That's got a little bit of protein in. It is high in sugar. It's got some good fats in, though, from the hazelnuts. So I would say putting chocolate spread on your toast 90 minutes before your game is not going to hurt you, and it's probably going to be good for you. During the game, people don't think that they have to look at their nutrition during the game. But when you're in the game, you lose a lot of electrolytes, and you lose some of your carbs really quick because you burn up that glycogen from your meals. So what I would opt for is the water, the Volvic water, probably the best, and any sports drinks. So isotonic drinks that you want. You can get cheap isotonic drinks for like £1, 89p from any shop. I wouldn't opt for any fizzy stuff. Fizzy stuff is just going to make you feel sick, and because it's such a high intensity sport, you're probably going to feel sick constantly. So don't drink any fizzy stuff, even if it's a sports fizzy drink. I don't even know why they invented fizzy sports drink. It's just complete bullshit in my opinion. After game, you want a proper meal. You want your protein, carbs, your fat, healthy fats, and your micronutrients. Don't reward binge. Even if you've dropped 30 points, don't go to Mackey's, yeah? And don't go to any fast food outlet. And if you do go to Mackey's, opt for a grilled chicken wrap, yeah? Tell them Coach Stevie says you need to order grilled chicken wrap. It's a bit dead, but I will allow you to have some barbecue sauce on that, no problem. Or some curry sauce or some sweet and sour or whatever you fancy. Grilled chicken wrap from Mackey's. I'm promoting that right now. So let's talk about your non-training day nutrition, because your non-training day nutrition still matters, because that's when you recover, that's when you're making the most gains in your skill or your muscle building or whatever goal you have with your body. Rest days aren't, I'll eat whatever the fuck I want. Rest days are when you grow. You're growing and you are building the muscles back, and you're also building your muscles back for your skill. Focus on protein every meal, veg and fruits. Carbs, keep them slightly lower because you're not fueling for a game or training. Hydration, number one. And avoid constant snacking. Yeah, snacking is probably the worst because it gives you inconsistent and dead calories. Yeah, get some proper meals down you. I'm going to go into budget meals. So a lot of us think, oh, I can't afford the food, healthy food's too much, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I spend a load of money on basketball training and I want to buy some new shoes and they're going to cost £180, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So I ain't got the money to buy this food, what you're talking about. Yes, you have. And I'm going to tell you some easy, realistic meals that you can buy. Best, cheapest supermarkets, probably Lidl and Aldi. So I'm going to cover what you can buy from Lidl and Aldi. Obviously, if you're Muslim or Sikh, you can opt for the halal options and go to the halal supermarket. But you don't need fancy food. You need consistency. And Lidl and Aldi are perfect for hoopers. So let's have a look at a shopping list. What would I buy as a hooper, or what would I recommend hoopers to buy from Lidl and Aldi? Chicken thigh and breast. Yeah, chicken thigh is going to be cheaper than chicken breast. So if you're on a budget, opt to buy the chicken thigh with a bone in, obviously. Eggs, you can buy a 15-pack. Greek yogurt in a big tub, you can buy 1 kg. Tuna in a tin, spring water if possible. Lean mince, frozen fish, lentils and chickpeas. Very, very good fats. Carbs, oats, rice, pasta, whole grains if possible. Protein wraps or wholemeal wraps. Potatoes. I absolutely love potatoes. I think I fell in love with them when I got to America. Cereal. Now, in Lidl and Aldi, they do high protein cereal and granola as well. They do their own brand for about £2 to £3. Really, really nice. And it's nice with yogurts as well as milk. Yeah. Bananas. Cheapest fuel. And I'm going to keep preaching bananas. Love them. If you don't like bananas, apples, oranges, mangoes. And then if you don't like fruit, make sure you're getting a multivitamin as well. Veg and fruit, cheap hacks. Frozen mixed veg. You can buy the little frozen mixed veg. Buy that, keep it in your freezer. It lasts for around about 3 to 6 months. I use it all the time in my meals. And it's very, very easy to prepare. Frozen berries. You can defrost them and put them in your yogurt. Cheap. Carrots, onions, and peppers. You can put them as a base to any meal. Apples, oranges, and again, bananas. Healthy fats. Peanut butter. You can buy a 1 kg tub from Aldi or Lidl. Olive oil. You want to try and cook with olive oil. It isn't cheap, but if you can't afford the olive oil, then opt for rapeseed oil. Nuts. Don't have too many nuts, and you want the natural ones. You don't want the ones with sugar, salt, and all these other mad flavors that they put in them. So what I would opt for is Brazil nuts because they're a little bit higher in protein. I would also opt for hazelnuts as well. Peanuts, to be honest with you, peanuts are not the best. They're very high in carbs and low in protein. And by the time you've had 100 grams, you've probably had about 200 to 300 calories. They are nice, but I wouldn't opt for peanuts, to be honest with you. I would kind of keep away from that. They are probably the cheapest, but they're not the best in terms of balanced nutrition. However, I'd buy them more in the spread format. Yeah, I'd buy they are healthy, but I'd buy them. But there's other healthier nuts out there that you can get more protein in. So I'd buy them more in the spread format. So I would recommend non-processed peanut butter. Opt for the organic, obviously, because it hasn't got the same fillers in and mixed with extra fats, unhealthy fats. So I'd opt for peanut butter more because you can measure the portion of your peanut butter. And when you have a bag of nuts, let's face it, you buy a big bag of KP nuts or whatever, and by the time you put your hand in, you've ate half a bag. And half a bag's probably like 800 calories, and you've got most of your calories from fats. So you can kind of measure peanut butter a little bit more. This is why I say to players, peanut butter is a little bit better. So make sure you opt for the peanut butter because you can measure it and you have less of it. I'm going to tell you about 6 easy meals that players can actually make with barely any cooking skills. Yeah, or your mum and dad can make, no problem. Tuna pasta and frozen veg. And in Aldi or Lidl, they sell a pasta bake mix in a jar. Put your tuna in an oven-proof dish. Put your mixed veg in and put your pasta in. Get the jar, tip it over, mix it all around, whack it in the oven. Or if your air fryer is big enough for that tin, whack it in. Yeah? Follow the instructions on it. I think it takes like 30 minutes. Bang, you have a cheap, easy meal that's going to fuel you as a basketball player. Dead easy. Chicken and rice bowls. So, you can opt for microwave rice. You see microwave rice in a packet all the time. So if you can't cook, you just literally open it up a tiny bit, stick it in the, break it up, stick it in the microwave. And with the chicken, you can opt for ready cooked chicken as well. So you can get like chicken breast and chicken thigh already cooked, grilled chicken, and veg, mixed veg. So you can whack all of that in the microwave. And then if you don't like your meals dry, which I don't, just whack some sauce on it, man. Whatever sauce you like, whack some sauce on it. I opt for like barbecue sauce. My personal favorite is Baby Ray's. Absolutely love that stuff. You can buy a cheap version from Aldi or Lidl. So yeah, just whack any sauce that you want on it. Just try and stay away from the mayonnaise as much as possible because it's just high in fat. You don't want kind of that in your meals, really. Just want a bit of barbecue sauce or whatever. Minced chili and rice. You can batch cook this for 3 days. The way you cook your mince is you probably got to cook it in a pan. So you can whack a little bit of oil in a pan, cook your mince until it's not pink anymore, and it starts to stick to the pan. Best way to cook your mince. You can get a jar of chili already made from Aldi or Lidl. Put your frozen veggies in together. Make sure they're cooked. Whack the chili jar in, a little bit of water, let it cook for around about 30 minutes. You've just literally made minced chili. And your rice, again, microwave rice, put your rice in the microwave. You've got a healthy meal, dead easy. An egg wrap. So, a little bit of oil in a pan, heat the pan up until it's smoking, until you see it smoke. Turn the heat down, crack some eggs in a pan. You probably want around about 3 or 4 eggs in the pan until you see the egg form. Then what you want to do is stick your wrap on top of the pan. Make sure you press it down so the yolks break and it sticks. And then you want to cook it for a couple of minutes so the egg gets stuck to the wrap. Take it out with a scraper and then you want to fold it over. Make sure the eggs are cooked, obviously. Then you want to fold it over, and you want to cook one side until it's crispy and golden. Then you want to flip it over and cook the other side till it's crispy and golden. After it's done, take it out, put it on a plate, chop it in half or chop it in quarters. You have 4 quarters or 2 halves. Get your favorite sauce out. I personally like salsa in the Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Put it on your plate. You have an egg wrap meal. It's probably the easiest meal to make in the morning or any time of the day. If you want to put a little bit of cheese in there, whack a little bit of cheese in there, no problem. Greek yogurt bowl. So Greek yogurt, put a little bit of oats on the top. You want to cut your banana up, spread it around, and you want to get some honey. You can buy the squeezy honey, the more natural the better, or you can buy a cheap one, it doesn't really matter. Spread it around, you have a yogurt bowl, and you can post a picture on Instagram with your yogurt bowl. Loaded potatoes. So I'm a big fan of potatoes. Honestly, absolutely love a good jacket potato. So you can get pre-baked jacket potatoes that you just stick in the microwave. You can have it with tuna. I put a little bit of mayonnaise and I put a little bit of Greek yogurt in mine as well and mix it together so it's a little bit higher in protein and I'm getting less mayonnaise. Beans. Everybody loves a tin of beans from the UK. I don't know a single person who doesn't love a tin of beans from the UK. Microwave your beans. Potatoes done. Your tuna's done. Put your tuna inside your jacket potato after it's cut up. Beans, put them on the side or put them over the top, however you like it. If you don't like beans, then that's cool. You can also have cheese and beans. Yeah, whack your beans in your potato without the tuna. Put your cheese on the top and then melt it again in the microwave. Easy cheat meal. Other cheat meal, beans on toast. Opt for whole grain bread or sourdough bread because it's a little bit healthy and it's more slow releasing. Whack some toast in the air fryer or whack some toast in the toaster. Toast it. If you want a little bit of butter on there, whack some butter on there. Beans, cook your beans. My personal favorite with beans is I put a little bit of chili flakes in them or I put a little bit of barbecue sauce in them to make them barbecue beans or chili beans. You put your beans on your toast. If you want some cheese on it, put some cheese on it. Just don't go too mad with the cheese. Yeah? Dead easy meals, honestly. Even literally a 12-year-old could cook these. Yeah? If you can't make a piece of toast at the age above 12, you need to seriously take a hard look at yourself. Okay, so I want to know in the chat, which of these meals would you probably like the most? Which of these meals would you probably like the most? Type it in the chat. Let me know. Which of these meals would you probably like the most? Beans on toast. Yes, lad. That's what I'm talking about. That's literally all I ate whilst I was at university. And I mix it up. I put a little bit of tuna on there and stuff. So yeah, really, really good stuff. Like it. Okay, so classic. Yeah, it is a classic, mate, honestly. When I went and travelled out in China, I tried to find a tin of beans in a supermarket and I could not find it anywhere. 6 months in, when I was working there, I came across a supermarket in another city I travelled to, and it was like an international supermarket. Went there, and I saw a tin of Heinz beans, and I was like, oh my God, I have not seen this for 6 months. It had Chinese writing on those, so it looked really weird. I thought it wasn't the proper Heinz, so I brought it in. It cost me flipping £4 for a tin of beans in China. Honestly, absolutely extortionate, mate. Absolutely extortionate. Brought the tin of beans and had some beans on toast for the first time in 6 months. Yeah, £4 is robbery, mate. So I'm going to talk about meal prep for lazy players or players who prefer to prioritize their time in other areas, and that's me being nice. It's a no excuse plan, really. if you want to improve, you remove the friction and the headache. So 60-minute weekly preps, you can prep your meals to get them ready and just put them in your microwave. I've done this for probably around about 8 years of my life. I've meal prepped, and I still do, because it's more convenient for me to just pop a meal in the microwave. Dead easy. And we do it every Sunday. Me and my wife do it, and it just saves us loads of time and saves us loads of money because we think in that way of meals. So, cook your rice or cook your pasta. Cook your chicken and cook your mince. So you've got your carbs that are already cooked and you've got your proteins that are already cooked. You want to portion these into tubs. The plastic tubs that you can get, you can buy them from Home Bargains, B&M, Amazon, eBay, anywhere, meal prep tubs. You want to add frozen veg to the meal prep tubs. And you want to keep your bananas and your yogurts obviously ready in the fridge because you can just pop them out at any time and put them in a bowl or weigh them out if you want to weigh it. Okay. That is literally your weekly meal prep. Dead easy. Yeah, that's how you do it. Dead easy. So I'm going to talk about the common player mistakes that I always hear or I always see from basketball players when it comes to nutrition. It's funny, but it's the real stuff. Skipping breakfast, then wondering why you're tired. Energy drinks instead of water and wondering why you have a crash. No carbs, then your legs die. Only protein and no fuel because you've been following Ronnie Coleman on YouTube. Eating randomly and inconsistently. So I'm going to recap on some of the things I've covered on tonight's live about nutrition for players. Nutrition equals fuel and recovery. Fuel improves energy. And coaches always speak about, you got to have energy, man. Yeah. So it improves your energy. Energy improves your repetition. Better reps improve your skill, which is linked to your nutrition. And better recovery improves your consistency. Consistency improves your game. I'm going to cover that again. Fuel improves energy. Energy improves reps. Better reps improves skill. Better recovery improves consistency. And consistency improves games. Yeah, so it's all linked. It's all linked. And it's the biggest cheat code that most younger players don't think about. They just think, oh, I've got to get on the court and practice my jump shot, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, you're looking for an edge. And if your edge is you have better nutrition than somebody and you last longer than somebody on the court, then you've got a cheat code in a game or you've got a cheat code in training. And you're going to stand out. It's as simple as that. So the final message I'm going to leave you with, if you are serious about getting better and not just hearing tips, we at Next Play are offering a free trial session at any of our Next Play Skill Academies. If you're interested in joining the Next Play Skill Academy based in Stoke-on-Trent, then drop me a DM, drop me the DM next, and I'll reach out to you and tell you a little bit more about it. So if you've just joined, I'm offering a free trial session at any of my Next Play Skill Academies. If you are interested in joining and not just hearing about tips and getting better, then DM me next. And if you aren't following me and you want more lives like this to educate you on how to become a better basketball player, the stuff that coaches don't really cover or they charge money for, then make sure you're following me. Other thing is, if you want to get notified every time I go live, hit the heart up top. It costs you 1 coin only. That coin will go back to Next Play and I'll reinvest it back into the projects wherever I earn off TikTok to make it better. You just need to come and experience the experience we have at Next Play. We have high standards and we're all about player development in all areas. As you can see, I've covered nutrition tonight. So, like I say, drop me a DM if you're interested and you're based around or in the Stoke-on-Trent area, because I'm looking for more players for my Next Play Skill Academy. Other than that, if you want to just drop me a follow, I appreciate you liking the lives and locking in tonight and being serious about your player development, because you've locked in, some of you, from the very end. Then I just want to say thank you for your time. And if you need any of my help, feel free to DM me. Okay? I'm locking out anyway. I'm going to bed. All right. Peace.